struggle to find a reason for this.
What up,
How you
Carlos?
doing, man? How's everything go?
It's going good. We make this the last one to
Really?
tell everything they know.
Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exactly.
Typically, I don't know.
Yes. Okay. And I guess I spoke to Melissa. We're going to run a package I did. It's a short little, it's a package, so it's at least fills some time. Okay, so they should be queuing it up. But we are waiting for a news conference, and it's scheduled to start at 4:30. Give us an update on the suspect. This was a horrific scene of carnage as the gunman shot into a group of people, killing 10, seriously injuring 10 others. The attack has stunned the community here as they struggle to find a reason for this. They might come to us first.
Time of day if you want to log the press conference.
You're on time of day?
4:26.
Thank God someone has figured that out. There's a few who refuse to do it. It's always on control track, and I'm like, really? Because they have no brain. They're like the scarecrow if they only had a brain.
Seems like they work hard for some reason.
Do you see what I did? How easy it was putting together, just like was there any stress? Well, because we were running to the station, I couldn't download it all. I did my best. I had like 85% of the video. It's just some of the others we had to get in the truck and drive. It's good that it's right on top of us. Just zoom into the door.
I like that better.
Yeah. That's right. We're in the Monterey Park City Hall, and as you said, we are waiting for Sheriff Luna. He's scheduled to come out here shortly to give us an update on the suspect. Again, this was a police investigation. Carnage shot at seriously injuring 10 others. The attack has stunned the community here as they struggle to be solved.
Rico, I'm going to give you, yes, I'm going to check another one, just to make sure.
So come.
Mic check,
from
1,
there
2,
and then
3,
back
mic
to
check,
me.
mic check, channel 1, press conference, channel 1, press conference. All right, thank you.
Shortly, again, this news conference has been scheduled for 30 minutes throughout the day because of the work they're doing trying to put all the information together. Sometimes the news conference will not happen exactly on time. As soon as it does start, we will be to 25 from Monterey, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. I see some people inside. I will wave at you when I see them coming out.
All right.
Get out of the way. How you doing? Yeah, no, I'm on channel. Yeah, I'm on 201. I'm on 1. So, podium is on 2. You want me to turn it off? Okay, because I'm only going to take 2. We're going to take audio 2 over. He's got it over there.
He's got to switch to one back there.
So we're seeing we're feeling it split. They can be
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, perhaps. It's going to be kind of. Yeah,
This is trying to
it's hard. It happens only
last mic check. 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 3. Testing. 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check. 1 2 3. Everybody else good?
Promise that's the last one?
Okay.
It has to happen now. You said that's the last one.
All right.
Anybody in need of a sound check? Are you all good? Everybody's good sound-wise? 2 2. You're good sound-wise? All right. Two, two, two. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1. Two, two, two. 1 2 3. 1 2, 1.
Frank that we can record this. I mean, if they can record it in playback, you know, let them know I can do it right now. intro and a tag for KGF.
So you're calling playback?
Yeah, the playback is doing it right now.
Is it roll? Okay.
Hey, can you record this intro and tag for KGO?
Back up where you were.
I got to do it before these people come out.
Back up where you were.
I'm going to go over there. Okay, hold on. Are you recording?
When you're ready. You're on.
Okay, go. Okay, they're recording. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. It was a horrific scene of carnage as the gunman shot into a group of people, killing 10 and injuring 10 others. This attack has stunned the community as they struggle to deal with all of this. Okay, they can put that at the beginning and then the tag. 3, 2, 1. And we will be getting more information about this suspect later on this evening. Reporting from Monterey Park, I'm Carlos Crime, ABC 7. Oh no, it's 3. It's KGO. ABC 7 News, 3, 2, 1. And we are expected to get more information about the suspect later on this evening. Reporting from Monterey Park, I'm Carlos Crime, ABC 7 News. Yeah. They said my audio wasn't going through. Are they not getting channel 2?
Mike switched it.
Oh. Can you tell Mike
I rolled on it. It's somebody to need it.
they need it now, and they need it for KGO? He's going to feed it to you right now from the camera, because Mike in transmission switched it to channel 2 audio to get the... So roll now. You rolling? Okay, play it. They're rolling. Are you getting the audio now? Hello?
What's the score?
Hello? Are you getting the audio now? He says you're still not hearing the audio. Oh, because Mike in transmission switched it to channel 2. Can he... He hears it now. Do you want? He's gonna do it. He's gonna re-rack it. This is the Look Live intro and tag for KGO, and then feed them the 4:30 package. For now, yes. I did the wrong out cue. Here comes the correct one, because I forgot it was for KGO. Okay, so send that to KGO or whatever you gotta do. Okay. Okay, tell Hathaway to switch it back to channel 2 now. Okay, bro. We're all good for KGO. San Francisco gets what they... I don't think they'll need me to go live. The only reason I was having it in case... They say, well, Carlos... No, that's WABC. But for that one, it'll be this same thing, but it'll be me live. And then we just have an 11. And that's it. Yeah, we have a 5:30 and 6. No, the 5:30 will be the VO, but with a new SOT. And the 6 will be the VO with a new SOT. And then we're done. I'm not going to bust it. That's right. Right after 6. The reason I did that little package is because I knew this wasn't going to start on time. You know it never does. So I figured this will cover myself. But hopefully for 5:30 it will be happening. And then our 6 o'clock is just, that's it, see? And then that's it. Well, they say there's a 7 like streaming. Exactly. Freaky. By the way, the package for the 11 will be the same thing as the 430. Only we'll put the new bites in, the new fresh bites, but the tracks don't change. See, I've been doing this long enough. Reinvent the food. Yeah, maybe. Yes, Danielle. Yes, she's going to do it back there. Yes, she's going to do it back there. Next year, I'll have been doing this work for 40 years. I can't believe I've survived and not killed someone. I know, especially a manager. Especially a manager. No. No, it's usually the managers. You know how they are. I have the emotional scars over 40 years to prove it. I don't know, they're moving that way, but could they come out this side door? It's the only thing I can think of. They will come out that side door to trick us. Well, the door's a little bit open. It's like one of the doors. I mean, maybe these doors are locked and they can't use them. I mean, on Sunday, maybe they'll come out that way. I don't know. Who cares? See, but they're all going that way. So, I don't care. Just get this thing done. No, he's part of the news conference. Allegedly. KGO's taken care of. We are? They never said that. I guess we'll run the VO for this one. You gotta turn it on, yeah.
You sit here, channel 1 is the wireless. I'm still connected to channel 2, the podium.
Nothing yet.
You want to go talk up to the podium?
Are we going to wait? Do you want to, or do you want me to say something? I mean, I don't know what I can say.
Turn the podium. I'll hold this works. I'll hold this.
Right.
Hey, can check the mic real quick?
Mic check.
Okay, mic check. 1 2 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4. Mic check. Good.
Where are you gonna be, Carlos? Back over?
I don't know. Well, what's happening? Well, we're still waiting for this news conference to start again. It started at 4:30. Been delayed a bit.
We were warned that if this was on after so
Yes, you should. What am I going to do? There's nothing happening.
and I'm guessing since it's digital, we're not going to hear any programming later, right? It dropped out. Yeah.
Let's do a recap of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and if not, we'll just.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
So it's just a VO, right? This time, just a VO. Oh, do you want to rerun the package? That's fine. I sent a separate VO. Okay. 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 Well, we are still waiting for that news conference again. It was scheduled at 4:30, but again, as I said earlier, it's been quite a day for. I'll just kind of move out of the way and just show the door again.
We haven't heard anything.
We haven't heard anything.
Thank you for the update.
You're welcome. I want to make sure they get the message.
We are waiting. We're still waiting for that news conference to start again. It was scheduled at 4:30, but as we said earlier, it's been such an incredible. Well, that's right. This news conference was scheduled to start at 4:30, but as you said, still waiting for it to begin. It's been a long day for investigators as they're trying to piece together all the information, and throughout the day, most of these news conferences have been a little late. You can see right there, that is where we are expecting the sheriff and others to come out to give us an update on the suspect. This attack has certainly stunned this community, and they are struggling to deal with all of this. Yeah, that's all we can do. We'll keep doing this every half hour until they show up. And again, we are waiting for this news conference. Sheriff Luna expected to give us more details about the suspect. As soon as that starts, we will bring it to you live. Reporting live from Monterey Park, I'm Carlos Granda, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you.
You're going to lose picture for a second. Am I back up? Okay, I'll be watching and I'll wave at you guys when I go through the next video. Yeah, we're good. Just as soon as I see it, I'll wave at you.
Mike switched the audio. See if I can-
Somebody messed up.
Very warm natured. I please out my wife, daughter. Tonight when I get cold, I can't walk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like in summer, I have to have it. You can make a pretty decent DIY ice chest. I started with ice chest. Oh, right. And that's what my neighbor did. You know, it get really hot. Yeah. They finally got it there. In Santa Ana. Washington Square, which is right here downtown. I love that. Yeah. Our home was built in 1937. What's that? No, it's not. All the homes in our neighborhood were custom built by the city and the county.
Is it kind of like one of those
It's around Stylehouse. Yeah. The whole variety. There's Craftsman, there's really old ones. So it's a variety of things. So, Fire Chief owned the house across the street. County Corner built our house. I checked the crawl space. Yeah, it didn't but you know, old houses in South last year. Yes. Okay. 4 years. Cast iron. So it's fine. Right. No, they went to the cross. That's the problem. Plus the toilets. So. No, because that foundation just goes along the edge of the house. It just goes into the church. Oh, right. The guys that replaced it had to go in there, dig through all that, dig the old plank house. So now we have no cast iron.
Not necessarily.
After 84 years.
Maybe not. They just don't have their shit together.
A lot of homes are made to have sickness.
That's the problem. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Now, are they going to release his name? Maybe. Maybe not. Until they get more information. They're not going to say his name. I don't think. They may just say, okay, it was the suspect. We got him. He wasn't the suspect. They'll probably say that. I would think. Whether they give his name, I don't think so. No, they probably already know if he matches or whatever. I think they just can't give information yet about his name because then it could jeopardize, like, could there be other people involved? And they want to find that out first before people like us start knocking on doors and making calls. So they want to, I mean, because he could be like part of a group.
Oh, yes, the outdoor hose thing.
Right.
I set them out for the hose. They're going to insulate them.
Yeah. So it could be, he could be part of a gang, or it could be a lone guy. So I think for that reason, they're not going to give us his name yet. Because they still have to do a background on him and any of his acquaintances and or anyone that may be involved. Because if the movie starts like going and bothering people, then it could scare them and they hide. No, I think it's some dancer, ballroom dancer. It could be young, it could be old, it could be everything. This guy was really against dancers because he went to 2 dance studios. So he just, maybe he couldn't dance yet. He was a bad dancer. There's no Fred Astaire. So he says, I'm angry. But I heard it was a domestic maybe. So I know my wife. That's my wife and my family. My family and my wife. I know my wife would stab me if he had me. So I don't want to piss her off.
Yeah, the first
That's not good for you. I'm surprised he didn't crack. Or did it? No. Sorry, Exactly. He's absolutely right.
line to hell. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I can hear you. Nothing. Not a thing. Not a thing. I know. I love that. Not a sign yet. It's like, I will tell you guys. Yes. Nothing changes.
I see people there.
Good afternoon. My name is Lorena Rodriguez. I'm captain at Sheriff's Information Bureau. Sheriff Luna and officials will provide an update on yesterday's incident. The order of speakers will be Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Sheriff Robert Luna, Congressmember Judy Chu, Senator Susan Rubio, Assemblymember Mike Fong, Monterey Park Mayor Henry Lowe, and in closing, Monterey Park Police Department Chief Scott Weiss. Thank you.
Well, good evening to everybody, and thank you all for being here and hanging in with us today. It's been a very challenging day. So let me give you what I believe will be the last update of the day, and then after the speakers, I'll come back up here to answer any questions that you may have. Earlier today, the Sheriff's Homicide investigators, working alongside all of our law enforcement partners, were able to confirm the identity of the male inside the white cargo van as the suspect in the mass shooting that we had in Monterey Park. Based on the previous information relayed by homicide investigators regarding the white van involved and seen leaving the scene of the incident in the city of Alhambra, the Torrance Police Department was notified, and at 10:20 a.m., the Torrance police officers located the white van matching the description near the area of Sepulveda Boulevard and Hawthorne Boulevard. As Torrance officers pulled behind the vehicle, the white van entered a shopping center parking lot. When officers exited their patrol vehicle to contact the occupant, they heard one gunshot coming from within the van. Officers retreated and requested several tactical teams to respond. 2 armored vehicles responded and were able to restrict the van's movement. At 12:52 p.m., our sheriff's SWAT team approached and cleared the van and determined the suspect sustained a self-inflicted gunshot wound and was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators conducted a search of the vehicle and determined the male inside the van was the mass shooting suspect. During the search, several pieces of evidence were found inside the van, linking the suspect to both locations in Monterey Park and Alhambra. In addition, a handgun was discovered inside the van. The suspect has been identified as Hu Can Tran, and the way that's spelled is H-U-U, middle name C-A-N, last name T-R-A-N. He is a 72-year-old male Asian. I can confirm that there are no outstanding suspects from the mass shooting incident that occurred in the city of Monterey Park. And although that closes a portion of a very long day for all of us, the investigation is still ongoing. Sheriff's homicide detectives are working around the clock, gathering additional information and working on determining the motive behind this extremely tragic event. I would like to thank Chief Weiss and the Monterey Park Police Department, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, California Governor's Office of Emergency Services, the United States Department of Justice, the Torrance Police Department, the District Attorney's Office, Supervisor Hilda Solis, who has been here with us for the previous pressers, and the surrounding South Bay law enforcement agencies. Initially, we're giving thanks to the Monterey Park Fire Department for their life-saving measures. I was informed before coming out here, we still have 7 victims who are hospitalized. And I'm sure that the work of our firefighters and police officers contributed to saving at least those lives. As I stand up here, I'm very proud, really, of all of us, the community, all of you in the media. I could say we did this together. We really did. And when there's tragedy, we have to lean on each other, and that's what we did. But before I walk off and turn it over to the next speaker, when I got here and I saw, and I told you this morning, the look in the eyes of the homicide investigators and all of their staff, you could just tell they were going to get this guy. And although I couldn't talk in detail about that earlier today, I'm very proud of Captain Andy Meyer and the whole entire Homicide Bureau, who not only got us to this point, but there's a lot of work and investigation to be done. And just real quick before I turn it over to the next speaker, you've been asking me about motive. We still are not clear on the motive. The investigation continues, and that is something we are all extremely, we want to know. We want to know how something like this, something this awful can happen. Also, in regards to the weapons, there was a handgun, as I described, that was discovered in the van with the suspect. The weapon that was recovered from the Alhambra location, in which, remember, the suspect went to the Alhambra location after he conducted the shooting, and he was disarmed by 2 community members who I consider to be heroes because they saved lives. This could have been much worse. The weapon that we recovered at that second scene, I'm describing as a magazine-fed semi-automatic assault pistol. Not an assault rifle, but an assault pistol that had an extended large capacity magazine attached to it. That's the pistol that was recovered at the location in Alhambra. So with that, I'll come back up for questions after the rest of our partners behind me speak. So I'll turn it now over to the next speaker.
I'm Congressmember Judy Chu, and I represent Monterey Park. I want to give my enormous thanks and gratitude to law enforcement for finding this shooter. All this afternoon, the community was in fear, thinking that they should not go to any events because there was an active shooter. But law enforcement came out and they were able to find the shooter with not even 24 hours passing. So I really have to thank LA County Sheriffs, and thank you so much, Sheriff Luna. Sheriff Luna, please, a big round of applause. I want to thank our Monterey Park Police Department and Police Chief Scott Weiss for keeping us safe in this community. I want to thank the Torrance Police Department for identifying the suspect and ultimately making sure that he was caught. And I want to thank all who've come together today, from the national level to the local level. Our local city council, which has been amazing, but also I got calls today from the White House, from the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, and from our Mayor, Karen Bass. All expressed concerns and offered their resources to us to make sure that we could end this terrible situation. I still have questions in my mind, which is, what was the motive for this shooter? Did he have a mental illness? Was he a domestic violence abuser? How did he get these guns? And was it through legal means or not? Well, those questions will have to be answered in the future. But what I want to do here is to say to the community, feel safe. You are no longer in danger because this shooter is gone. And so, I told you this morning, I've lived in this city for 37 years, and I was mayor and city council member at one time. And I said that this community is resilient. And what I saw today and what I see at this moment is indeed we are resilient and we are stronger together.
Hello, I'm State Senator Susan Rubio. I represent the city of Monterey Park. And I want to start by offering condolences to all the families that are today destroyed and trying to find a way to keep moving forward with such a loss. I want to also commend those two individuals that tackled the gun away from the second incident, because we would be standing here with a lot more tragedy. So I want to thank those two individuals, and we hope to honor them at some point in the near future. But I also want to commend our public safety, from our local police to our Sheriff Luna and everyone that did what needed to be done to ensure that we bring safety back into our community. So as you heard Congresswoman express, we want to make sure that our community knows it's still a safe community. So thank you to all those that were working really diligently to ensure that we capture the individual responsible for these senseless acts of violence. And we need to continue to condemn any type of violence. It has no place in our communities. I want to also praise first responders for their quick action and those at our local hospital taking care of the victims. So please, I ask all of you also to take a moment to think of the teachers. I was a teacher for 17 years, and I was in the classroom many times where I had to be the one offering condolences and comfort to those children that were coming into my classrooms, and it was my job to answer questions when they were confused and they needed answers. So to all those that have children in the schools, say thank you to your teachers, because we're going to have to deal with this tragedy. It's not over. Even though we know that it's a safe community, we cannot change the heart and mind of those kids that right now are feeling uneasy, scared, unsure. So please support our local teachers They have a tough job ahead of them. And to our local city council, our mayor, Henry Lowe, and the rest of the council, they've been tremendously proactive in trying to ensure that our community feels safe, that this city has what it needs in terms of resources for the trauma of all the families that are now left behind dealing with such devastation. And so to all the community that was here earlier, praying for all the victims and for the leaders, thank you to the coalition of clergy who came earlier today. We want to say thank you for your comfort, for your prayers, and let's continue to pray. We're here to support. And one last thing I want to share, that early on, the Governor Newsom called. Every single member of the legislature called, and each one of them offered their support. And so I want to thank all my colleagues, the Governor, Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounakis, and everyone who called and offered prayers and support. And we will put all the resources necessary to make sure that our community knows that they're going to be taken care of. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Assemblymember Mike Fong, representing the 49th Assembly District. Thank you so much to Sheriff Luna, Chief Weiss, and all the local law enforcement and state and federal partners for their leadership and efforts in finding the shooter. During the time of celebration, during the annual Lunar New Year, when families gather together, I know that our community has faced a tragic incident, so shocking, sad, and horrible. For those seeking assistance and trauma relief, please visit the Langley Center here in the City of Monterey Park. Thank you to Mayor Lowe and the Monterey Park City Council for their leadership and efforts. And thank you to the Governor and the Office of Emergency Services for their leadership and efforts in coordinating emergency response and for enhancing security here in Monterey Park and the San Gabriel Valley communities. This has been a very challenging time. As you heard from our Congresswoman, our Senator, Monterey Park is strong, Monterey Park is resilient, and together we'll get through these challenging times together. At this time, I'd like to introduce Monterey Park Mayor Henry Lowe.
Thank you very much, Assembly Member. I want to thank Sheriff Luna and your department for helping us seek justice today in this tragedy that has occurred. I want to thank our own Monterey Park Police Department, many of whom their officers have been on duty for over 24 hours. Thank you, Chief Spieth, for all the personnel at your police department for your dedication in making sure that justice was brought forward. I want to thank our Fire Chief Matt Halleck and the personnel of the fire department who rushed to provide aid to those who had fallen. Working alongside our local, state, and federal partners to investigate this horrific event, we are able to say that justice has been done thanks to everyone working together. But we also know that this is just the beginning, and an unimaginable tragedy has occurred here in Monterey Park during a weekend in which we're celebrating the Lunar New Year, and a time when people come together to spend time with families, with friends, and that was the purpose of those who gathered at the dance hall last night. But tragically, someone decided to express violence, and violence has no place in our society. And so at this moment, the community, moving forward, our priority is to make sure that those victims, their family members, are given the assistance they need to heal and to get over this trauma. And as a community, is also the moment in which we will need to move forward in a long process of healing as a community so that we can together overcome this tragedy. But I have faith that we will be able to, because as you've heard from the comments, and again, I thank everyone from Chief Luna to our Congressman Judy Chu, our State Senator Susan Rubio, our Assembly Member Mike Fong, Supervisor Jesus Solis, everyone from the federal government, the state government, the county, our friends in neighboring cities, the region, for coming together to offer condolences, to offer their support. And we will get over this. To my friends, to our residents of Monterey Park, ours is a community that has looked in the face of the COVID pandemic. During the last years of the pandemic, we had some of the highest rates of vaccination and some of the lowest rates of infection, and it's because we came together to help each other to overcome this crisis. We had our Veterans Post create a food bank. We had people who offered assistance to those who are in need, and that really is the Monterey Park spirit, the people who make up this great city, a city that is diverse, that has welcomed waves of people, families from around the world, around this country, to call this place home, and is why many people love to live here in Monterey Park. And I have confidence that we will get over this crisis, because we must. And we will only do so if we do it together as a community, because remember, we are all in this together. And again, I just have to reiterate just the admiration we have for our own police department and fire department, who reacted quickly to this crisis and immediately activated its procedures to also tap into the resources, the partnerships that were needed to essentially be able to bring us to this moment. And my friends, we do have a long road ahead of us, but I hope that all of you who are here gathered today, those in the press, those in the community, those who have been offering the support as individuals, as organizations, about how we can help Monterey Park. The journey is just beginning, and we hope that we will continue to be on this road together to heal and to ultimately triumph over evil and adversity. Thank you very much. And now, Scott Weiss.
Mr. Mayor. Thank you, everybody. Tonight's the Lunar New Year, and we would be celebrating that tonight, but obviously we can't. The officers that were here last night are just coming back on duty right now. They're upstairs at briefing. When I get done talking to you here, I'll go back upstairs and make sure that my officers are mindful of what took place and that they're in a good place tonight, because their wellness means a lot to me, and the only way that they're going to protect this community is if they're mentally prepared to do so. So that's where I'll be going after this. I want to thank Sheriff Luna and the partnerships with the Sheriff's Department and all of our federal, state, and local partners. We couldn't have done this without their help. I want to thank the Torrance Police Department for being so vigilant to spot this vehicle. Thank you very much. We have a long way to go to heal this community. The police department here in Monterey Park will be present every moment of the day from this point on to make sure this community remains safe. That's our commitment to everybody here, and we will continue to do that into the future. I'd like to open it up for any questions.
Sheriff, did the white vehicle, the white van, did it have stolen plates on it?
When we got to the van, it did have different plates. So I'm assuming they were stolen. They weren't the plates that belong on the van.
And did Torrance, did they get a hit off of it? Was it a camera hit that hit on that stolen plate?
It was something similar to that. And that's, again, part of our partnerships with all of our agencies and some of the process we use to catch a very dangerous person and get them off the streets.
Sheriff, we've heard about you don't have a role right now. I wanted to ask you something that could play a role in that. Is there any indication that the suspect who's now dead knew any of the victims or knew people at either of these two locations?
We're still looking into that. That's part of what the homicide detectives are investigating. Please keep in mind that, especially with the deceased victims, the coroner's office retrieved the remains not that long ago, so they're still in the process of identifying. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done to answer a lot of questions that all of us have.
Sheriff, we've heard a lot about the police work today. What can you tell us about the 10 victims? 20 people have been shot, 10 people are now dead. Congressman Chu stood there and asked people to applaud your effort earlier. Today we've had the Vice President say that this type of violence needs to stop. as a community leader, what do you say about that and how, in this country, can gun violence stop?
Gun violence needs to stop. There's too much of it. We're all standing here tonight because an individual took a weapon and did the damage that we've talked about without repeating it. I think all of us need to take some ownership there. I think we really need to go back and look at what we do. California has some of the strictest gun laws in the country, but yet look what we just had today. So let's look at across our nation, see what works and what doesn't. I could tell you this, the status quo is not working. So we need to re-examine what we're doing and what may work better. And I hope that this tragedy doesn't just go on a long list of many others that we don't even talk about until the next one comes up.
And what can you tell us about the victims? Ages, relationships, were they parents, were they mothers, fathers? Who were these people?
We're still in the process of identifying all the victims. We will have that information as the days go on.
Were they most
Have you contacted next of kin yet, sir?
Okay. I heard something on my right ear that sounded like the ages of the victims. The ages of the victims that we dealt with here in Monterey Park, I don't have the specific ages because they have not been identified, but they're not in their 20s or 30s. They seem to be probably, I would say, in their 50s, 60s, and maybe some even beyond there. And again, give me a second. Anyways, yes, ma'am?
Have the next of kin for the victims been contacted yet, sir?
We're still in the process of doing that.
And you talk about the criminal history of the suspect. Did he have any restraining orders? Was there a history of any sort of criminal activity with Mr. Tran prior to this?
That's something we're still looking at. We're looking at all criminal history, mental health history, and those are all things the detectives will take a very hard, long look at and see if it impacted what occurred here, the motive, and that's part of the learning lessons and sharing them with our partners and seeing if there's any gaps that were there that we may have missed.
Sheriff,
was
there
anything?
One shot hurt, but there were 2 bullet holes pictured in the window. Did officers return fire?
To my knowledge, there was no officer or deputy involved shooting at the scene.
Sheriff, was there anything else in the van itself that you found beyond the handgun, like any ammunition, anything like that? And do you know what his city of residence is? This suspect?
Yes to all the above, but it's none of those I can get into at this point. I've got, we have detectives all over the region continuously working very hard to answer a lot of the very good questions you're asking regarding motive and all these other things. And the timing isn't right for me to put that out. We will, but give us several more hours. We're taking this one step at a time.
Can you be reassured that we're still safe to walk around at night?
I didn't hear the first part of that, but the suspect responsible for this tragedy is no longer with us. That was the person that is deceased now, and you're asking me if we feel we're safe. He's the one responsible for this. He is no longer a threat.
Sheriff, what is the connection?
Give me a second. I'm getting multiple questions at the same time. I hear something about guns.
One gun was seized and one found in the van. Was there a multiple gun was suspect was carrying?
We don't know yet.
Sheriff, for clarity, was there any information that led you to contact Torrance Police specifically that he would be in their area? Was there a nexus between what happened here and what you knew about, you thought your suspect, and Torrance?
Does he have a connection to Torrance, sir?
This morning, when I talked about the information we had, we put out as much information as we possibly can while there was a lot of very good investigative and detective work going on. Something we don't talk about much in Southern California is our extraordinary ability to communicate and coordinate with each other. Not only the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, you see the partnership here between ourselves, the Monterey Park Police Department, my partner at the Torrance Police Department. We put this information out. We're very good with our networks, and it showed how it worked. You communicate this, officers are out on the lookout. They want to, I don't care if you work in Torrance, Long Beach, Monterey Park, you name the city, something like this happens, there's everybody who wears a badge wants that person in custody, and I think that's what you see happening today.
So there wasn't anything specific?
Teamwork that's going on out there.
There wasn't anything specific about this individual in Torrance. They just followed up on the bulletin that went out.
There's going to be more information that we'll be putting out about the specifics, but right now I'm here to report that the suspect responsible for this tragedy is no longer a threat.
Sure. It sounds like there was some sort of planning involved. It was allegedly a stolen van. It sounds like there's some sort of planning involved. If this was a stolen van, from what witnesses said, did he say anything when he went into the first club, and he just opened fire? And how did it go down?
We're still interviewing witnesses. We're interviewing witnesses at the Monterey Park location. We're interviewing witnesses at the Alhambra location, and all of it will come together when, I'm going to use, it sounds weird for me to say some of this makes sense, putting it all together and trying to figure it all out. We're still in the process of doing all that. It's going to take some days.
Can you clarify the weapons you said? You said he used an extended magazine?
Give me a second. Let me give somebody else a chance over here.
You said he used an extended magazine in a magazine-fed semi-automatic pistol. Can you clarify what type of pistol that is, generally speaking? And are the weapons you found legally obtainable in California under current law?
I believe the weapon that was recovered at the Alhambra location is not legal to have here in the state of California. We'll do more research on it. Our partners at the ATF, and by the way, I was mentioning different police departments. We can't be as successful as we are without, the FBI's been with us all day. The ATF joined in. The U.S. Marshals has been helping us. I get a personal call from the Attorney General earlier saying, what can we do to help you? I've been in communication with the governor, who you may see out here in the very near future. Everybody just, what can we do to help? So everybody was pitching in.
Sheriff, that second location where the gun was wrestled away from the suspect, can you describe at all what happened? You said there were two people that did that.
I can tell you that the suspect walked in there probably with the intent to kill more people, and two brave community members decided they were going to jump into action and disarm him. They did so, took possession of the weapon, and the suspect ran away.
Were they tipped off? That's the important problem, Sheriff. Were they tipped off about the incident at the first location?
You're asking that second part of the question over here.
We heard that they might have been tipped off that the shooting happened, that somebody might be coming to their dance studio. Have you heard anything, or can you say anything?
I have not heard that, but that's possible.
Can you relay for us what your deputies said it looked like when they went into the first venue in Monterey Park? Did they tell you what they encountered?
Our deputies, actually the brave police officers from the Monterey Park Police Department are the first responders to the initial scene. I don't know if the chief has more information on that that he can
Chief?
ask about or answer, I should say.
Yes. What did the officers relay to you? What the scene was like when they first made entry?
The first officers on scene were some of my youngest officers. They'd only been on the street for a very short period of time. When they came into the parking lot, it was chaos. There were wounded people. There were people trying to flee out all the doors. They immediately went into action, and within just a couple minutes, those officers had entered the location looking for the suspect. That's our protocols here. We don't wait. Inside, they came across a scene that none of them had been prepared for. So there were injured people inside, there were dead people inside, and my young officers did their job, searched for a suspect, and then came back and had to deal with the carnage that was inside. And it was extensive. That's one of the reasons I need to make sure that they're okay.
How long did it take them to arrive on the scene?
Between the time of call and the first officer on scene was less than 3 minutes.
How long have they been officers?
The youngest ones have only been out on their own in training for the last several months.
Can you talk about the layout that issue at all? I mean, in terms of where the shooter was, where he was shooting from, where everyone was.
Hold on. I got a gentleman up here asking questions. Someone's talking over him. Can you repeat that,
In
please?
terms of the layout of that, in the Monterey Park business, where were people inside? Were they on a dance floor? Were they congregated in a certain area? And where did the shooter come in from? Was he inside when he started firing? Can you just give us any sort of sense of how this played out inside the building?
We will, but not tonight. We'll get there. We'll get there. All excellent questions, and we will get there.
Sheriff, you're not where the suspect is from. Residence, city of residence, you're not confirming or writing that tonight?
Not tonight, because we're still in the process of following up, serving search warrants. We want to get to the motive. We want to know what the heck happened here. The only way we're going to get there is through a lot of very hard detective work, and we plan on doing just that. So thank you very much. Thank you for all of your support today. Couldn't have done this without you. Thank you very much.
You good?